From the Cardinal Television Studios, I am Caitlin Murphy with your Fisher News Brief. For a second consecutive day, protesters are rallying across the nation after President Trump issued an executive order banning travel from 7 Muslim-majority countries. David Daniel reports.
Cheers and applause inside JFK Airport as a detained traveler reunites with a loved one. But outside, it's a different story. Demonstrators at JFK and airports across the country, Boston, Chicago, Denver, all protesting the president's immigration policy. On Friday, Trump issued an executive order temporarily banning citizens from 7 Muslim-majority countries from entering the United States for the next 90 days. One day later, more than 100 travelers were detained at U.S. airports, among them children, university students, and at least one person with ties to the U.S. military.
I have a special immigration visa in my passport, me and my family. They treat me as I break the rules or do something wrong.
White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer says the 7 Muslim countries were originally flagged by the Obama administration as nations of particular concern.
There are 46 other countries with Muslim populations that are not part of this. And I think that's an important thing to note.
Under Obama, certain individuals from these countries were subject to greater scrutiny by the Department of Homeland Security, but there was not a blanket ban. According to Trump's administration, green card holders will be allowed into the country, although Saturday that wasn't the case. Senator Schumer says the ban goes against what America has always been about.
The orders make us less humanitarian, less safe, less American.
I'm David Daniel reporting.
Homestay service Airbnb is offering free housing to people banned from flights to the U.S. The CEO, Brian Chesky, wrote on Twitter Saturday opening his offer to anyone denied U.S. entry under President Trump's executive order halting immigration from 7 Muslim-majority countries. Chesky tweeted, "Not allowing countries or refugees into America is not right, and we must stand with those who are affected." No timeline yet as to when or how these accommodations will be provided, but Chesky urged travelers who need emergency housing to contact him. According to the company's website, Airbnb operates in more than 191 countries. In Michigan, more than 1,000 people gathered to protest Betsy DeVos, President Trump's Secretary of Education nominee. Brittany Gray was there.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Betsy DeVos has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
Protesters surrounded Centennial Park in Holland, taking a stand against President Donald Trump's nominee for Education Secretary, Betsy DeVos.
She has absolutely no experience. I spent 20 years in the classroom. I spent more than 20 years in education. She has no idea what she's talking about. They may as well put me in charge of health care and make me Surgeon General, because I know as much about that as she knows about education.
Demonstrators circled the park, chanting and carrying signs that read "Dump DeVos" and "I love public school." DeVos was considered a controversial choice, with many Democrats arguing she is unprepared and unqualified for the job. But some Republicans are also concerned about the president's pick.
I believe public education is what our founding fathers wanted, and I think traditional conservatives probably agree with that. Shouldn't be privatized. If we are going to have charter schools, they should be as accountable as public schools for their funding, for their results, and so forth.
I go to a public school and I love my school, and just seeing a woman who's so against it really breaks my heart.
DeVos's confirmation vote is scheduled for this Tuesday.
Saturday marked the 31st anniversary since the Shuttle Challenger disaster. The space shuttle exploded shortly after launch on January 28, 1986, killing all 7 crew members. The tragedy shocked the nation as about 17% of Americans watched it unfold on live television. Because of the explosion, the shuttle program was put on hold for 32 months. The blast was caused by a rocket booster failure that ignited Challenger's fuel tank. The late crew members included Krista McAuliffe, who would have been the first teacher in space. And that's all of today's headlines. I am Caitlin Murphy for your Fisher News Brief.